Long ago, in a land named Og, there lived a one-eyed caveman by the name of Trog, and two characters very much alike, mischievous little dynamites named Bloop and Spike. Good God, that poem is terrible, but it's straight out of the NES manual. And as awful as that silly rhyme is, it is in no way an accurate representation of what this fun and cutesy-looking arcade port is all about. Back in the prehistoric year of 1990, Midway, who by then was an already well-known juggernaut in the arcade industry, released a single-screen maze game called Trog. It starred four adorable little dinosaurs who, being the vexatious little shits that they are, steal eggs from their archaic and ever-evolving neighbors, the Troglodytes, or Trogs for short. The arcade original sported character models sculpted from clay. Midway took full advantage of the unique motions claymation had to offer, leaving Trog with a visually memorable experience that few games from the early 80s and 90s presented. Aside from the obvious Pac-Man inspiration, Trog also utilized 4-player simultaneous play, which was a common trend in arcades during that era. 1 year later, Trog was ported over to the Nintendo Entertainment System. That development was handled by Visual Concepts, and the game was published by Acclaim. Though slightly watered down in regards to simultaneous play, omitting half of the playable characters, Trog's core elements remained intact. The two Spike dinos whom survived this Portmageddon are Bloop and Spike. These hungry Triceratops are on the hunt for delicious eggs, which are unfortunately guarded by those evil one-eyed Trogs. Much like Namco's seminal classic, you collect eggs on a single-screen stage and move automatically in the direction that you're facing. So, it's only necessary to press the D-pad if you wish to turn. Once you've scooped up each egg from the board, an exit will reveal itself from a random location. During a 2-player game, Bloop and Spike compete against each other, racing to collect each corresponding dino's colored eggs to open the exit to victory. The first to reach their respective exit is rewarded 25,000 points as a bonus. You can play competitively or as a team, working together to advance further. It's your choice. The gang of Trogs are simple to elude, at first, but these feral brutes evolve quickly, learning to set traps in abundance to make sure that our lovable little reptiles become extinct. The ground becomes pocked with holes that the Trogs pound open with their clubs. Fires are set impeding your path, and once the wheel is invented, good luck. But the islands are perilous in their own right, with tar pits randomly bubbling up from the ground. And be sure to watch where you're walking, because you can easily jump off a ledge if you don't change your direction quickly enough. But where there are hazards, there are circumventions aplenty. These come in the form of power-ups. Red flowers increase your speed, while the blue boomers reduce it. Ice cubes temporarily freeze Trogs, which leaves them susceptible to one-punch knockouts. Hot tamales allow you to torch cavemen by shooting fireballs, and lucky horseshoes grant you invincibility for a short while. But the best item your dino buddies can collect is by far the pineapple. Akin to the power pellet in Pac-Man, the coveted pineapple transforms you into a ravenous T-Rex, where you can then chomp down on Trogs like tender carrion. The first chomp grants 10,000 points, the next 20,000, then 40,000, and finally 80 grand apiece. This is how you rack up that score and earn extra lives! These items do appear randomly though, so keep a sharp eye out. The game opens with 3 difficulty settings to choose from. Easy, which begins the game from stage 1, Advanced, where the game starts from stage 2, granting a 200,000 point bonus, or Expert, skipping you ahead to stage 4 and boasting of a 400,000 point award. Supposedly, the game's difficulty increases by selecting one of the 2 advanced settings. I'll be honest with you though, I didn't notice a damn difference between the 3. As far as I can tell, they're all exactly the same. So, I always began my egg collecting journey from stage 1. Trog can be pretty freaking challenging. You begin with 3 lives and only get 2 continues to boot. Given enough skill, you can earn an additional 2 lives per credit through high scores, so that's a combined total of only 15 lives to complete all 50 boards. Not an easy task by any means. Thankfully, you are able to defend yourself in the form of punches. But this mechanic can be a bit wonky in its own right. I don't know if it's the game being cheap or not, but sometimes punching Trogs is a smooth ordeal, while at others, your fist goes right through baddies as if invisible. And the next thing you know, you're Trog Chow. Now, admittedly, it's often my fault mistiming my blows, but at others, give me a friggin' break. Trog is made up of 50 islands, broken up by 3 different types of bonus stages throughout, and introduces new obstacles as you advance further. In the later levels, you'll come across jumping Trogs who always seem to have a knack for landing right on top of you. For me, this is the most infuriating part of the game. Additionally, you'll be forced to use catapults to get across impassable waterways, leaving you susceptible to rabid Trogs who then bludgeon you like a baby seal. Now that's some bullshit! Getting through all 50 levels of Trog can be quite the slog on 3 credits. This is where warps come in handy. At the start of each stage before you begin, you'll notice a small gleam over a single egg, usually in the lower right hand of the board. If you save that particular egg for last, a warp tile will open up from a random location, skipping your dinosaur ahead 3 stages. However, if either you or your buddy happen to die before collecting all the eggs, the warp will not appear, and the stage must be finished in its normal fashion. Learning to trigger these warps will undoubtedly get you through the game at a much quicker pace, along the path of least resistance. But sometimes it's more fun to do it the harder, old-fashioned way, sans warps. Trog, on the surface, may look like just another lame-ass generic NES game, better left on the shelf to collect dust, but once you actually dive in, it turns out to be a really fun and extremely addicting romp. After you start getting the hang of things, it only sucks you in more, and playing with a buddy is a hell of a lot of fun. The game is still affordable, for now, so I say snag a copy before the price shoots up. The graphics are meh, and Wes seems to think the music is pretty bad. I enjoy it though. But the addictive gameplay more than makes up for any of that. If Pac-Man type games, or old school single screen arcade classics are your bag of tricks, then definitely give these cutesy carnivores a chompin' chance.